biggest offensive regression for the 49ers since last season? What do you expect?
I think it's the one you thought it was going to be good. The run game, I think that's going to regress because
without Debo?
Yes, without Debo. And I think in terms of, I'm not going to get more yards per carry. Maybe that will get better. Maybe you're right on that point. I think they're going to lose explosive play yards. They're going to use explosive plays. So whatever, how many much their 15 plus, 20 plus yards runs they made off, I think you're going to see less of that because I'm going to sell Lance as capable of doing more than just a handful of those this year because I saw how he ran this last year. He's not like what people compare him to, like the Cam Newton or even Colin Kaepernick. He's not as fast as those guys. He's not shifty. He looked really like an off-balance runner, like he lacks the feel of what to do with the ball in his hands. So I'm not saying he won't be efficient. I'm sure he'll be enough to get that clutch like first down that's like 7 to 10 yards, but I'm going to sell on that like he's going to be ripping off 15 plus gainers like he's Lamar freaking Jackson. I mean, no, those guys were great because they're extremely, extremely raw with the football in their hands. Now, another standpoint, running backs, like you said, Elijah Mitchell, Deebo Samuel, like I expect Deebo Samuel to see a significantly reduced role, if not completely erased. So in Mitchell, I'm not sure how much better he's going to get in terms of explosiveness. You know, Jeff Wilson Jr., we've seen he's done a bit before, but how many carries a game he's going to get? You know, Ty David Price, they brought him in to be the bruiser, the bulky back. I'm going to sell on them being like, that's going to be the explosive, like, you know, like we said weeks ago, that the home run capability, I think that's going to really be diminished.
I feel that. One thing I'm going to say is that last year, Deebo Samuel averaged 7.4 yards per carry from shotgun formations. And now with Trey Lance doing this 11-on-11 football from the gun, I mean, even if he's not the runner that Lamar Jackson is, you still have to account for him because if you don't, he'll have, you know, you still have to account for him. So it's going to create more space in the gun. I mean, theoretically, Deebo could average 8 yards a carry. I know, and I don't know how much he's going to run, but if that's a weapon and Deebo refuses to do that, I couldn't imagine. But like, man, you want to score a touchdown? He scored 6 touchdowns from the gun last year. Like that's your money maker. And you only got to do it like twice a game. But to your point, if you want explosive plays, put Deebo and Trey in the zone read together and see what happens. Because it could.
Yeah, if you told me Deebo is just going to have his role reduced in half, I'm going to, hell yeah, the running game is going to be improved. That's going to be sweet. So to play around with, and you even have usage you can mess around with if you just want to go like backside or something.
Yeah. All right, let me do mine. So that's a good one. That's interesting, the run game. Okay, let's talk third down offense. So last year, the Niners were 14th in third down offense. Pretty mediocre considering they had Debo, Kittle, and Ayuk. But a lot of that had to do with the quarterback, and a lot of that had to do with the offensive line. Now they have a quarterback who can protect himself and scramble, and he's going to scramble for a bunch of first downs, but I think it's possible that third down offense is going to get worse this year. It's going to go down. And I don't think it has that much to do with Lance. I think it has more to do with the pass protection. This team is built to run the ball, but in terms of pass protection, they have one good pass protector, their left tackle. And especially at center. On third down, if you don't have a good center, that's when you get all those exotic fronts. You know what I mean? You get all the overload blitzes and you get defenses trying to confuse essentially the center. Because on the Niners, the center is the one telling everyone who to block, picking out blocking assignments. Yep. And Alex Mack is good at that. If you have someone who can at least get that right, you give your offensive line a chance. Hronis Grasu 2 years ago was getting destroyed on A-gap blitzes and this kind of stuff on third down, and it really hurt the whole offense. I think third down pass protection in general is going to be worse, and I think that's going to affect them on third down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you even saw it last year. The pass protection wasn't so great. I mean, it came through in like a lot of situations, but it wasn't like great, like something you can go out and feel comfortable about. I mean,
Tom Compton was freaking awful in pass protection.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
And especially when it's like it got to like 3rd and 7 plus. Like if they weren't under 3rd and 7, you had zero feel that they were going to – they chose to run it a lot of times in those situations. So, I mean, number one, that quarterback, you know, because you couldn't get the ball out or figure out where he was going with it or deliver it accurately. But that's also an indictment on the pass protection. Because even if you have a flimsy quarterback, if you like, hey, at least we're going to give him time to like – hopefully get something to develop. Hopefully our receivers win, and then he just delivers somewhere in the range. But yeah, I think to me that was always more of an indictment on pass pro than not, because how long are you holding up? But then again, when you're a defense, it's kind of easy to tell what the offense is going to do. If they're going to run it, you're thinking, oh, hell yeah, great, run it, please. Do us a favor. And then at that point, you're just going to sell out for the pass. That's where you get those, like you said, overload blitzes where the center is going to be like, where the hell, where's this guy going? Where's the mic? Where the hell is 56 going? So I think that's where, that I can see that definitely, especially if they are in those 3rd and 7 plus situations again, where Lance just says hike. He's barely on his second or third step in the drop back, and already someone's getting blown by. That's why
Right in
it's
his
like
face.
the outside offensive line is just a huge question mark, and that's that's always still been my concern for the last like 4 months about this offense. It's like if none of these guys look good, like who knows? Brett, we know what Bredskoll is, but is he still going to be able to repeat what he's done? McGlinchey coming back, who the hell is the center and the left guard? I mean, great. The left guard is supposed to be good because he's playing next to Trent Williams. Trent Williams was going to block Aaron Banks' guy. Like, come on. We got at some points, these guys are going to do stuff of their own. Yeah.
I mean, like last year, Tom Compton was a liability in pass protection, but at right tackle, if that's your one liability in pass protection, like he would get run over. But the quarterback still has an opportunity to get the ball out. There are things you can do. You can get the ball out of your hands quick. If you have instant pressure in your face right at the A gap, you're screwed. There's nothing you can do. Unless you're Kyler Murray and you can run away. And maybe Trey Lance can do that sometimes, but he's not a 4-3 runner. I really, if you get that A gap pressure instantly, you're screwed. It screws the whole offense. And I'm not saying Jake Brendel's going to be that guy that Hronis Grasu was, because from everything they say, he's very smart and he should be able to do that stuff. But I don't know. Can he block? We'll see. He actually hasn't played much. I have no idea what to expect.
That's why situations like that, you always saw Kittle always like helping on pass pro too. Yeah. That's where you really saw his targets diminish.
And yeah, they got to stop that. I mean, you need Kittle in the pattern on all third downs, not just some of them. So yeah, okay. Third down offense.